Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest stories. We start with Frank Kessie, as it have been reported that the Barcelona's 30 million euro rated midfielder is now ready to leave Barcelona after talks with Xavi. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Arda Guler, as it have been reported that Barcelona officials have informed Laliga of the details related to the teenage prodigy's registration. We are also going to be discussing about that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. In a major development, Gerard Romero is reporting that Frank Kessie is ready to leave FC Barcelona this summer after manager Xavi Hernandez called and spoke to the midfielder recently. Frank Kessie joined Barca only last summer, arriving as a free agent after his contract with AC Milan had run down. The 26-year-old did not have it easy in his first year at the club, though, as regular game time was very hard to come by for him. Given that Pedri, Sergio Busquets, Frankie de Jong and Gavi were all ahead of him in the pecking order, the Ivory Coast international had to settle for rare starts and appearances off the bench. It has led to a lot of speculations over his future, more so with Barca needing to make some quick-fire sales. As such, Kessie has been heavily linked with an exit, but the midfielder until now has not appeared too keen to leave the club just a year after arriving. However, that seems to have changed now, with Romero reporting that Frank Kessie is now willing to consider an exit from Barcelona. It is suggested that manager Xavi called and spoke to the 26-year-old, which may have played a part in convincing him. Frank Kessie is understood to have told that he is very grateful to the club and is now prepared to leave. Barcelona are hoping to get at least 30 million euro from his sale this summer, and the former AC Milan ace is attracting some serious interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia, Al Ahly in particular. Indeed, the Middle East outfit are willing to double his current salary should he make the switch, although it might take a bigger offer for him to consider a move to Asia at this stage of his career. Of course, Frank Kessie has been one of those players that have been heavily linked with an exit. Barcelona are trying to make sales as quick as they can in order to ensure that players can be bought, and most importantly, the new players can be registered. So far, Barca are facing issues with registration, but yet they have still not balanced the books. They are still to comply with the financial fair play. Despite signing Ilkay Gundogan last month, Barca are still unable to register him. So sales will be very important. So far, just one player have gone officially, which is Samuel Umtiti. As 2 days ago, we got reports that the player have been they have come to a mutual agreement to terminate his contract. And of course, Barcelona still need quick-fire sales in order to ensure a smooth running of the club and, most importantly, a successful transfer window this year. Frank Kessie have been having very few opportunities as he would have hoped, because he came and met some strong competition in the form of Gavi, Pedri, Sergio Busquets, Frankie de Jong. So it wasn't easy for Frank Kessie to break through and become a starter. But when one of those players in the middle of the park were injured, we saw Frank Kessie taking up that opportunity with both hands, and I think he had some very good and decent performances. And I think, of course, his highlights of his career at Barca was still that Clasico goal where we scored a very minute winner at already the 90-minute mark, which was one of the highlights of the season, and most especially for Frank Kessie. And I think leaving Barcelona, as they are saying that he have accepted to leave, I think is something to applaud him for the maturity, for him understanding the state of the club. Because honestly, he had the right to say he won't leave. Because just before this report of Javi convincing the player over phone, there were reports that the player is convinced that he won't leave the club. That just after 1 year of signing from AC Milan to Barca last summer, he doesn't see it necessary for him to leave. He still has a lot to offer. But knowing fully well how Barcelona have been going, and maybe he have already foreseen that next season is not going to be the best in terms of game time available, especially as Javi is only fighting more for new midfielders, and of course, which means Frankie's game time will take a further hit. So as it stands right now, according to what Gerard Romero is saying, Frank Kessie has finally accepted that he will leave Barca if the club wants him to, and of course he's grateful for everything, the experiences, and yeah, I think that's it for Frank Kessie. So it's very much likely that we'll be hearing the announcement of Frank Kessie leaving the club. But of course now Barca will be looking for a suitor, and Barca, they are clear on this plan. 30 million euros or we won't sell Frank Kessie. That's the price tag that I've put on top of his head. For me, I think that price, all right, let's see. But the fact that he hasn't been playing that much last season, I think many teams out there would like to have him in the squad, but it might be very tricky as that price tag is somehow high. So guys, moving on to the final story of discussion, we talked over Arda Guler's potential signing. Moving forward quite swiftly, Gerard Romero is reporting that Barca President Laporta and Director Matteo Alemany did travel to Laliga headquarters in Madrid yesterday to inform the league about Guler's registration details. Arda Guler is one of the most sought after prospects in the market currently after an impressive campaign with Fenerbahce, Real Madrid, and AC Milan and Borussia Dortmund are some of the suitors lining up to him. But it is Barca who are in pole position to land his services. Indeed, some reports have even suggested that the Blaugrana have reached an agreement in principle with the Turkish sensation, courtesy of incoming sporting director Deco. With the transfer now seemingly not very far, it seems like the club wish to keep La Liga informed about developments. As such, Laporta and sporting director Alemany have traveled to the La Liga headquarters in Madrid in order to confirm them about or to inform them about the details of Guler's registration. It is unclear whether it means that Barca are trying to incorporate the 18-year-old into the team this summer itself, as previous reports have strongly suggested that his signing was being made with an eye on 2024 instead, as Barcelona cannot make the full transfer payments right away. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.